everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of the Wrap-Up. Danny Myers of the Meyer Food Store and Services, the place where you go and buy alcohol after midnight. Dan, tell your family thanks for being there for me. Nick Buckler, the fame and fortune of no big company, but that's all right because we're here to deliver you our very opinionated sports opinions. Well, me, Dan just kind of goes with the flow.
I acknowledge his
Craziness.
Yeah, there you go.
We got a lot on the docket today, my friends. And we're going to talk with Red Wings hockey to start this show. Danny Myers, let me tell you something. Breaking news on a Monday morning. Had an itch on the nose, sorry. I'm trying to be discreet, but I just blew my cover. Anthony Mantha called up from the Grand Rapids Griffins. About time, my friends. The scoring struggles continue. They lose Sunday night against Toronto, 1-0, 38 shots, can't beat Jonathan Bernier. They needed something. Instead of adding at the trade deadline, they promote from within. Anthony Mantha called up, and to me, I like the move. Teemu Pulkkinen is not an NHL player. He's too small. He gets pushed around. He's simply just not very good anymore. And then you have Thomas Jurko, who to me should not at all be anywhere. He's not very good. These guys should not be in the lineup. I would rather see Eric Tangradi, Ethan Martin Ferk, or obviously Anthony Mantha. Mantha's finally going to get what he's been just deserving all year. He's had a great year in the AHL, and he's likely going to make his debut Tuesday against the Philadelphia Flyers. Danny, what do you think?
It's about time. We've heard the mystery, the rumors of Anthony Mantha and just how great he is. We're going to finally see why we kept him around for so long. We passed on countless players to keep this guy in our lineup. He's finally making his NHL debut, and it's huge. And we need him, for sure. We need him. I mean, that game, you and I were going back and forth during the game via text message of just how frustrating it was. I ended up getting out and walking out of watching it. I just had better things to do. I was done wasting my time. If you listen to those poor announcers, whoever they were, It was annoying. I'm sorry, I miss Ken and Mickey. We're really spoiled here in Hockeytown. But if you notice, it was it's the Bernier show. Oh, he's just incredible saves. No, it wasn't. It wasn't whatsoever. They were throwing the puck at him, right into him. I mean, anybody can stop it. You're going to throw it at a goalie, it's going to hit him, and he'll save it if he's got anything going on up here. Mrazek was the true highlight of the night. I thought he was incredible. He kept the guys in the game. And unfortunately, that they just couldn't pull it off for him. And another thing that what have we been talking about the past 3 weeks, or ever since it's just reoccurring story is the Wings. They need somebody to stick up for their star players. I'll give you a specific example of last night when Kadri, I can't think of the other guy, pretty much
Leo Komarov.
Thank you. Took Pavel Datsyuk down right short of the bench in the defensive zone, jumped on top of him. He ended up busting his nose open. I don't know what happened. He broke his nose. And then Kadri proceeds to step on the inner ankle.
They can't see it, Dan.
You're right.
Thanks for showing
right
me
behind the knee, stepping right on behind the knee where there's no padding whatsoever. It's one of the few spots on a hockey player that's not covered. Stuck his blade right into him. I don't know if we can get a graphic of it. If you see the replay of the game, it's clear as day. These guys are getting mugged. We don't have goons anymore. That's apparent. But we need an enforcer. We need a big body to protect our guy.
Dan, there's a guy on the team who loves getting his face smashed in, and it's Justin Abdelkader.
Yeah.
He's due to get his face smashed in.
Yeah, but he can only take some. But our guys going into the corner, defensemen going into the corner, looking behind them when Abdelkader's coming at him. No, they're not. He's not intimidating whatsoever. Yes, he does stick up. He's got some muscle, but he also is trying to become a finesse player also, to put points on the board. And we just need somebody like a Ryan Getzlaf, someone that's just willing to muck it out, make these guys pay for hurting our star players. Hey, that stuff's just going to continue to happen if we don't pick up somebody.
We got a guy down in Grand Rapids by the name of Eric Tangradi, who I've been waiting for all year. He's played in one game. He played in New York, had a great game against the Islanders, just short of Christmas. I'm waiting, still waiting here patiently for him to get called up. Kenny, I know you're watching. He's a huge supporter of the show, talking to me over the weekend. Just waiting, Kenny, for Tangradi Thank you for bringing up Mantha. Just waiting for Tango. He's been lighting it up, leading goal scorer in Grand Rapids. Him and Martin Ferk have been right there. Folks, Polkinen's terrible. Yurko's terrible. Our defense is terrible. Help us. I'm shooting off the flares into the sky from a sinking cruise ship here, folks. This week is the most important week for the Red Wings, and it will utterly determine their season. The next 4 games on the road, if the Red Wings don't get 6 points, they will not make the playoffs. Mark my words here, 6 points is the magic number. It starts Tuesday. They are in Philadelphia, a team who is 3 points, 3, behind the Detroit Hockey Red Wings. Philly has 2 games in hand. If the Red Wings win that game, they will be 5 points up, still with 2 games in hand will Philly be. But then, even if they win those 2 games in hand, the Red Wings would still have a 1-point cushion. However, if the Red Wings lose, they're only up 1 point, and then there's still 2 games in hand for Philly. Then they could utterly, trying to say too many syllables there, pass us by 3 points. So Tuesday night's game is huge. NBC can have you covered there on Tuesday Night Rivalry, the sister of Wednesday Night Rivalry. Then they travel to Columbus on Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, which is a must 2-point game. Must get 2 points. They're a disgrace. They have nothing to play for except spoiling our season. Must get 2 points out of that. And then it gets fishy because then they travel down to the Sunshine State to play Florida Panthers, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. And then on Tuesday, the following Tuesday, they will travel to Tampa Bay to play Steve Yzerman's club, the Lightning, division foes. It's a tough schedule, folks. At Tampa, at Florida, at Philly. They play Philly at home as well. They still have to travel to Madison Square Garden again to play the Rangers. They play Montreal twice, and they got Carey Price coming back. It's a tough schedule. They travel to Boston again.
Yep.
They play Minnesota, who's battling for their playoff lives. It's not getting any easier. That's why these games that you let get away from these teams that they have to beat, the worst team in the NHL, worse than Edmonton. They have, mind you, they only have 12 guys on their roster, Toronto does, that played opening night.
Yeah, 12.
12. And they're the 4th and 3rd line guys who are now playing on the 1st line.
Yeah.
You have Leo Komarov and Nazem Kadri. Other than that, you have nothing. Bozak's hurt. Lupul's hurt. Van Riemsdyk's hurt. They have Bernier, who played solid yesterday, but it was nothing crazy when, you're going logo sniping.
Perfect. I love that, yes.
That's what happens. You have Zach Hyman up, who they didn't want to be up at all this year. He had a great year. He was a Hobey Baker finalist last year with the Michigan Wolverines. And then you have Soshnikov, who's been playing great, the Russian rookie. But, these guys aren't NHL ready. They're getting great experience. Mike Babcock, good for you. He had the 30th ranked penalty kill, looking like the best penalty kill against the Red Wings power play. Send an SOS. I don't want to second guess. This is the bottom line. I'm true. All right. Little Jonas Brothers quote for you. Judge me. The power play needs help.
Yes. There's a lot that needs
Folks,
help.
this is the Titanic, the Edmund Fitzgerald. We're going down. It's bad. In an earlier round, all right?
Yeah.
Sugar, we're going down swinging. All right, folks? I'm speechless. Dude, Blashill, you need to hire a special teams whiz. Look at me. D2 hockey right here. That's right. We may have lost Saturday night in our game. We played a D1 squad. But our PK is second to none. Our power play, look out. Red Wings, you need me. Dan, it doesn't get easier is the bottom line.
And you hit it right in the head. Every year at this time, we're struggling. We are struggling for a playoff seat, essentially, entrance. And every year, it comes down to these stupid games. Like you said, the teams that we should be beating, that we're not. And, at the time, it's, we just came off a 10-0 streak or a 9-8-0 streak.
Haven't had that this year.
No. Well, that's true, yeah.
You brought up a great point yesterday that I'm going to touch on.
Yeah.
Tatar and Nyquist last year, one had 30, the other had 29, 27 goals. So they combined for 57 goals last year? This year they have 30-something, a little over 40.
Collectively, yeah.
Not good. Those are 2 goal scorers that you need to come down the stretch. Wake up now, folks. Wake up now. Z and Pav are getting old. Croner's now out a week to 3
Well,
with a
that's a
sprained
shame.
knee. And let me tell you, even with him in the lineup, our defense is in trouble. Our defense is in trouble. Let's go down the line. You got your best defenseman, in my opinion, Danny DeKeyser. All right. Struggling of late. Kyle Quincy, yesterday. Awful game. Alexei Marchenko needs to not play. Smith, we had him on the show last week. Garbage can. What else do you got here? Oh, Erickson,
Yeah.
big gumpy loser. Need I continue? Let's see. Why is that only 5? Oh, yeah, because I forgot. Nicholas Kronwall, overrated. Great leader, overrated, though. I think he's still in the public eye. The fans still see him as, oh, he's going to lay out if he's a great defenseman. He's not. Watch them on the PK. Okay, I'm diagramming here. You can't see it, but they always leave one guy in front of the goaltender, whether it be Howard or Mrazek, untouched behind the D, and they know he's there. Mm-hmm. That's grounds for a disaster. No wonder why these shots from the point are going in. To me, it body him up, cross-check him, stick him in the you-know-where.
Make them earn a goal. If they're going to score, make them earn
The
it.
Red Wings forwards are always getting cheap shotted in front of the net, and they don't call it because it's hockey. You know? It's frustrating. I know I still forgot a defenseman. It's bugging me here. Mike Green.
Mike Green.
I like him. He generates offense. That's something we don't have from our defense. No offensive generating.
Yeah.
They got rid of my boy Kindle. First game with the Florida Panthers this past week, he got an assist. Way to go, 46, Jakob Kindle. Way to go. Dan, do the Red Wings get in, yes or no?
I want to say, I really want to see them against Philly, see how this goes out. I think it matters on Mantha, whether he can give this team the spark they need to get this going. They need their scorers to actually start performing. The second-line guys, even the first-line guys need to be there. They just need to collectively, as a group, get things going, get the wheels turning, and it's not happening right now, especially last night's game. The only thing we really had going was the fact that our goalies are keeping them in the game. And Jimmy Howard has to stay solid. We have to have a solid defense. They need to pick up, and our offense actually has to start putting points on the board. To rely on our goalies for so long is not going to get you in the playoffs, let alone far in the playoffs. So right now, it's up in the air. It's a coin flip. I really don't know. Shooting from the hip, I want to say yes, just to keep the streak alive, but we'll see.
Something's got to give.
Absolutely, yep.
I say they get in. This is a huge week for the Red Wings. I think your young guys really pick up the pace. Larkin gets out of his funk. 2 points in his last 15. 1 goal since the All-Star break. This week's a big week for him and Athanasiou. I think Mantha steps in, and I wouldn't mind seeing a line of Larkin, Mantha, and Athanasiou. The new modified kid line. They used to have Sheahan centering, Nyquist and Tatar as the kid line. I like the second-generation kid line. Get them together, and then you rekindle, not Jakob, Sheahan, Tatar, and Nyquist. You put Abdelkader up on that top line with Z, and maybe put a guy like Richie up there. And then you got Helm, you got Glendening, and then you've got Pavel Datsyuk still in there. I think Datsyuk and Helm work great together. Put a guy like Glendening or Richards on that line. I really like it. Mantha coming up just makes this team so much deeper in goal scoring. And it gets guys like Yurko and Polkinen out of the lineup, who are guys, when they get the puck, it's like, okay, it's bad.
Yeah.
Polkinen turns the puck over too much. He's on the power play. It makes it like a 4-on-4. It's rough. I'm saying they get in, though, just because they've worked their magic so much in years past. I think they have the veteran leadership mixed with enough youth to give them that spark that they're going to need this week to get those 6 out of a possible 8 points. I say they get in, and, I'm going to get ballsy here and say they don't even get a wild card. I think they get one of the top 3. And I think Florida drops into that wild card. Mm-hmm. Tampa's been too hot. Boston's been too hot. Lee Stepniak's playing great in Boston. Tuukka Rask isn't, but I don't think it matters when you have the scoring power from Bergeron, Marchand, Stepniak, Spooner. I think Boston wins the division, and then they will play Florida. And my big bold prediction here, Pittsburgh misses the playoffs. Philly makes it.
Ooh, that's bold.
Evgeny Malkin out 6 to 8 weeks. That likely puts him out for the playoffs. It's going to be tough without the big Russian. Yeah. Philly in, Pittsburgh out, Red Wings in, and it's going to be just like last year. We'll have to travel to Tampa Bay in the first round. But I like our chances this year. Peter's playing great. So they're in. NCAA postseason. Bracketology with Dan Myers and Nick Buckler. Who else would you trust to win you your office pool, folks? I got it printed out right here. The bracket. Michigan State gets snubbed of a 1 seed in favor of Oregon and Virginia. Kansas, obviously, the overall number 1, which was pretty much undebatable. And North Carolina also getting a 1 seed. Michigan State, though, really got rewarded in their bracket. Very weak bracket, in my opinion. They will be in St. Louis for their first 2 games. They play Middle Tennessee. I believe that game is on Friday.
Yes.
They play Friday. And obviously, I think they're going to win that game. And then they'll play the winner of Syracuse, who's a 10 seed, in Dayton.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game, folks. However, Syracuse, to me, because they're in a bigger conference, 19-13 on the year. Dayton, look out for them. They are the higher seed. I got Dayton beating them and Michigan State rolling over Dayton to the Sweet 16, which will be in Chicago, that region, as they are in the Midwest region. Definitely benefits them because it's close to home. Obviously, State travels well anyways, even when they're playing in California. And then they'd likely play either Gonzaga or Seton Hall, Utah, Fresno State. Don't think it matters. They roll to the Elite Eight easily, where they'll likely meet maybe Purdue. Iowa State, look out for them this year. I pick Iowa State every year, and they, stick it to me. And I pick Baylor every year. Last year they lost in the first round as a 3 seed. So Baylor, stay away from Baylor. Stay away from Iowa State. Michigan, an 11 seed. They were one of the final 4 teams in. They will be playing Wednesday against Tulsa. They will battle for the right to play Notre Dame and battle for the right to get pummeled in the first round. Right. But I'm glad to see Michigan get in instead of the NIT. Just proves that John Beilein is a great coach. People have been saying for so long, at least in the past year and a half or so, Beilein's got to go. But I think those people are crazy. Beilein has brought this program so far, and just to prove what you can do with no big man, really. He's never really scouted out or recruited a good big man. I mean, Doyle's not very good. Donnell has done what he has had to do. But ever since Mitch McGary, they haven't had anyone. Jordan Morgan for 5 years was not anything special. He had a great senior season. But Mitch McGary was incredible. And that was the year, obviously, they made it to the national championship game. That team was stacked. Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr., Glenn Robinson III. Then you had Mitch McGary. Spike Albrecht got hot. The team was stacked. John Beilein makes a bunch of shooters that they develop them, and they're doing so well. You got Duncan Robinson on the team now. Zach Irvin's played well. Derek Walton, he's not scoring points, but he set a Big Ten record. Big Ten tournament, most assists ever in a game. He had 13 assists. And they beat Indiana last week on a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
So, I think Michigan beats Tulsa with ease. 22-11 Michigan versus 20-11 Tulsa. But I think they can give Notre Dame a run. But they're going to have to shut down their big man at center, 7-footer. Can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Demetrius Jackson.
Yeah, Demetrius Jackson. Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
I know you're kind of an ACC whiz because they're Big East.
ACC.
ACC, sorry. Because they defeated Duke.
Yeah, they did.
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
Dan Myers he bleeds blue. He's a Coach K kid.
Dark blue.
Dan, he's what I call a bandwagon fan. See,
we've been through this, all right?
Oh,
you know how much stuff I used to get because I like them.
Look at your color right now, blue and white. Weird.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, crazy how that happened.
But
now explain yourself to the viewers, because right now, if they're not already changed the channel because they hear you're a Blue Devil fan, try to get them back. Try to get them back, Dan. Try.
Well, what more can you say?
Turn off QVC. Get back over here. We'll sell you something. I'll sell you my co-host right now. I'll sell them to you. 3 easy payments, $29.95. You can make the check out to cash.
But wait, if you order now,
the Senior Center. No, if you order now,
you get a free wrap-up shirt with it for using your credit card.
I don't even have one of those.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, you don't see. There he goes, making stuff up. Why do you like Duke, Dan? Why? Can't think of any reason.
Why can't you not like Duke? I mean, it's like just like
arrogant.
Well, you could say that with any team.
Nope.
I mean, it's just depending who's looking through the glass. It's
glass.
Yeah, I mean,
they put up boards now in basketball. See, he doesn't even know what sport he's talking about.
I know. You just tripped me up. What I want to go to is that you were talking about just the difference as far as the teams and how they're ranked and stuff like that. We're going to see a big struggle with big names like we used to have.
I agree.
Looking at Duke, looking at Michigan, looking at even Kansas. This whole one and done college situation is really hurting college.
I like it.
I hate it. I think it's horrible.
Then if you didn't have one and done, no one would watch the tournament. Because
I'm talking about as far as athletes staying for 1 year and then going to the NBA. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. That's awful.
No,
that's also horrible.
That's really hurting it, and you're really going to see.
That's why Kentucky's fallen off this year.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky's what, a 4 seed, 26-8, but they weren't as dominant as they were in years past. Not to mention they have a cheating head coach. We'll get to that
That's
a whole
nother.
nother can of worms.
Right.
But before we're kind of strapped on time, Dan. We got to tell these people who are sitting there filling in their brackets because they know we're coming on every day at 4:30, 2 o'clock. They say, Dan, Nick, what's your Final Four, Dan? What is it?
Well,
Let me know what not to choose. Dan's Final Four is what not to choose, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. Well,
I'm
how'd
shocked.
it go
Duke
last
is
year?
not in it, and
How'd
I'm
it go
shocked.
last year, huh? I got that perfect Sweet 16 from there
Did
on
you?
out. Yeah, I nailed it last year.
Really?
The only problem I didn't do was put money on it. That was my problem. I think I
Oh.
won $100. I should
You
have won.
were a record product of every child gets a trophy?
No.
Yeah. Yes, you were.
No.
you vote
That's
for
your
Bernie?
generation, buddy.
Oh, easy there, old man. Continue.
But
Final Four.
with that being said, as a Duke fan, it pains me to do this, but I do have
The Tar Heels.
the Tar Heels. I
Yuck.
got MSU getting hot. I have Oregon and Kansas.
So
And
you just picked 3 number ones and thought I'll throw a number 2 in there as well?
why not? Just spice it. I really don't see too many upsets going on this year.
I really don't
feel,
either.
I feel
I
that they're
don't.
really hot.
But my Final Four, I have 1 number 1 seed, 2 number 2 seeds, and a number 5 seed. And I have 2 Big Ten teams making it, folks. I have Oklahoma winning the West. That's right. I don't think Oregon's a very strong number 1, just like I don't think Virginia is a strong number 1. So I have Michigan State and Oklahoma are 2 of the teams in the bottom of the bracket to make the Final Four. The top right, I got North Carolina. There's my number 1. They have an easier bracket. But now it gets hairy in the South. I got a 5 seed, the Maryland Terrapins, making a run.
Ugh.
You can say, ugh.
No, I appreciate your choice. I just can't stand Maryland either.
Kansas will go down to Maryland in the Sweet 16, folks. You heard it here first. Getting ballsy, folks. YOLO. Now she want a photo. You already know, though. You only live once. That's the motto, Dan. YOLO. So there you have it. Our Final Fours both have UNC and Michigan State. So there you go. If you want to pick them, you can pick Maryland. Make sure you cut me in your perfect bracket. Well, we got some time to talk Pistons.
Yeah, we do.
8 seed right now, pretty solidly in that 8 seed. Lose last week to Charlotte, but then defeat the worst team ever in the NBA by 14 in their own building. Good to see. Next week they come home for 9 straight against easy teams. We've been talking about this. Dan, do the Pistons get in? Yes or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
What seed do you give them?
I don't know. I like how they're playing. What scared me though, what I didn't like was the first half struggle against Philly.
Yeah.
that-
Third quarter, they're only up 1 point.
Yeah, that was really bad. And the fact that, they were struggling, and they got so much talent too going on at the team. It's just, they really got to step up, get it going. And unfortunately, that first half struggle was embarrassing. And, to lose against Charlotte also really hurt. But what can you do? What about you?
Yeah, I think they get in. I think they're like a 6 or a 7 seed, but they do get in, and they give a team a run for their money in the first round. Do I think they win a round of playoffs? Maybe not, but definitely going to be fun to watch them down the stretch. And they're bringing basketball back to Motown, so that's good to see. The Tigers suffered an injury this week. Justin Upton, their newly acquired outfielder, collides with Anthony Gose, and they're not sure right now. It's still kind of up in the air, but it doesn't look to be too serious, but he has not played since last week when they collided in the outfield. What do you think of the Tigers this year?
It's too early to tell
I
still.
agree.
It's, it's not a good omen when you got guys colliding like that, especially 2 names like that going in there. Especially, we just picked him up. We're supposed to be excited about Justin Upton. What happens? He gives that's just a freak occurrence, and I hope that's not an omen for how the season's going to go. We'll see. It's too early for that.
In or out? Playoffs.
Oh,
Make an early decision, because we'll talk about it, I'm sure, as the season
Yeah.
draws near.
let's go. No.
I agree. I'm going to say no. Everyone called me crazy last year for saying no before the year, I think including you. Everyone was saying that they were going to be in last year. I said, No, they're not. And oh, what happened? Oh, they were last in the division.
embarrassing.
So I'm pretty smart. Pretty smart. I'm so smart that I'm going to have to say I got to go rest this brain for a little while to bring you guys more knowledge for next week. Danny Myers and Mr. March Madness himself, Nick Buckler, saying, deuce, deuce, Bigelow. See ya.